What's up, YouTube? What's up, Discord? Free from it all. We're going to talk about NAVITAS. That's all I've talked about for the last week and a half on my YouTube. I was asked to do updates. I have a paid Discord, but there's people who watch me for free, refuse to join the Discord for whatever reason. Don't like making money, I guess. Asked me to do an update. I'm going to do an update. I've been doing videos. I was probably the first YouTuber to do videos on this stock when the news hit. I alerted my members right away when it was under $2. Some of them got in low. Most of them got in around $4. Every single one of us has made money on this play. Anybody who watched any of my videos has made money on this play. The last week has been stressful. Okay, the last week has been stressful. The CEO, the CFO, some of the other directors were, for whatever reason, trying to put the kibosh on the play. Selling boatloads of shares. I did look into, the idea that, so there was two concepts floating around. One was that the CEO transferred his stock to his trust. That's what I thought first. The numbers don't, the math doesn't math, guys. He sold 2.1 something million shares. His trust has like 2.7 million shares in it. He owned them both at the same time. He just, in fact, sold those shares. I reached out to investor relations. They did email me back. That's their job. Anybody can do it. You can do it. You don't have to take my word for it. Just reach out to investor relations. They did confirm he sold his stock in that, but that he has not sold his whole position, which obviously he hasn't, because he has 2.8 million shares in the indirect ownership in the trusts. Now, that said, that's a bad look, selling all of your direct shares for $10 million. So on the human side of things, here is a guy who's been working for this company for I think a decade, sees that his stock is worth $10 million. You hit the lottery. You're probably going to sell that stock. When it was originally 13 and 22, he was obviously locked. Like, he couldn't sell. And then the stock started falling, and then it was like under $2. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. It was a jerk thing to do, especially knowing how confident you should be going forward. Personally, I think, you got 10 million, you take one, maybe two. You don't sell the whole thing when you're going interview after interview after interview and you're telling people 2026 we're going to have like 500 million revenue. We've only been reporting like 15 million. We're going to have like 500 million. This is exactly what is making stocks like CoreWeave, NVIDIA pump, reporting massive amounts of revenue increases year over year. That's what they're going to do. If they reported 30 million, that would be a 100% year over year. 45 would be 200. Do the math. If they report if they reported 150 million year over year, that's 1,000% year over year, 10x. If they report 450 million, that is 3,000%. Like, that is going to make this stock go ballistic. Okay, so I looked into it. It did happen. Okay, it is what it is. The guy decided to take 10 million now instead of whatever money he needed to make a couple of big moves, maybe buy himself a house, a better house, and have some cash, and hold the rest for when this thing inevitably goes back to double digits, which I truly feel it's going to do that. It could go all the way back to $3, guys. That's the 200 EMA. Stocks obey those levels, whether you like it or not. You get a move like CoreWeave or applied APLD going absolutely berserk and just not stopping. They have their own set of circumstances, right? CoreWeave guys, I'm mentioning them because they're NVIDIA stocks. Serve, RXRX, CoreWeave, APLD, NAVITAS, SoundHound AI, all of those are NVIDIA type stocks, whether they have direct ownership through shares, whether they are partnered for new technology like NAVITAS, however you want to spin it, they're only going up because of NVIDIA. That's it. And AI is only happening essentially at this point because of demand, and NVIDIA owns 80% of that market. So if you're part of that market, you're going to benefit. It's really that simple. Even if NVIDIA were to fall, that doesn't mean the demand for AI is going to fall. The AI demand is just ever increasing. It's not falling in any capacity. I'd actually beg to differ that you would want to avoid NVIDIA stock at this point. It's had its run. Guys, there's 24.4 billion shares of NVIDIA. People are like, oh, it's going to 500. You're mental. It was so high before that they had to do a split. If it went to $204, guys, it would go from 3.3 trillion to $5 trillion. It's not going to it's not going to 500. It's not going to be worth 12 to 15 trillion dollars, guys. Like, you're out of your fucking minds at that point. Okay? So circle back. What could you buy? You could buy alternatives. Plays that would benefit from NVIDIA being so successful. It's going to remain dominant. There's no question about that. It ain't going to be 12 trillion and 15 trillion dominance. This is going to remain dominant. Okay? Microsoft, guys, has been in every computer forever for 30 fucking years. It only finally started moving higher like 2020. I owned that sucker when it was like $40, guys. In the 2010s to 2020s. It's like 600 now. Right? It's the same thing with NVIDIA. It's had its moment. That's probably where they're going to stick around. They're just going to hover in between 2 trillion and 3.5, maybe 4 if you're lucky, which would just be absurd, but the market's been nothing but absurd. So, and more people are funding money into those companies and taking it away from other companies. How could you blame them? A lot of companies are going belly up, bankrupt, bust. Airlines, major airlines, I'll talk about it today. Save and JetBlue. JetBlue's only like $5 and Save's done. These were $20 and $30, $40 airlines. Start a CV-19 and one of them's basically gone, and they said they couldn't survive without a merger. It's really tough to put money into many companies that aren't all about just future technologies. Like Tesla even. Robots, AI. They got their brain chip, medical stocks. It's crazy. You basically have to be tech, and that's it, because that's kind of where humanity is headed. Less about humans and more about technology. NAVITAS stands at the forefront of that, guys, as well. It's like 10 years of R&D has paid off, and because of power constraints, it's putting them in an extremely good position. When I left my house, it was $6.08. I bought the dip at $5.92. It hit $5.90, which was 48 EMA. Posted it on the Discord. Had discipline. Posted on Stock Twits. These are them. I have my buy orders ready to go, guys. My buy wall. If it comes back down, it came back down. And I still have a buy wall down at 560, 555. And I'll buy all the way back down to 4 if it wants to go to 4. Would I buy below that? No. Something would be fundamentally wrong with it if it continues to go lower than that. And it could go low, guys. I need you to be understanding of this. It jumped. It's up 200% at $6, guys. 200% in 3 weeks. Even with all the volatility we've been having. Too many people selling. I had to take profits finally. I watched it go up $45,000 on my position. Up $45,000 to minus, oh my God, what was it? Minus 17,000. $60,000 swing in a week. I was in deep. Wanted to be. Thought we were getting 8. And I thought if we got 8 and then we got weekly options, which we didn't. I don't know why the CBOE is fucking us. We have the volume. We're worth more than APLD. APLD already had weeklies and they were only $5. I don't know what the hell's going on. I thought, sure, we're going to go to 10 if that happens. Didn't happen. What happened? We went to 460 the other day. Too many shorts. Too many people selling for nothing, for scraps. Today they finally realized, just hold your shares. Let it go up. Stop selling for afternoon changing money, and maybe look for something that might change your day or your week or your month, maybe your year. You know, you get some brains about you. When NVIDIA touches something and says, hey, we need this for our Rubin chips, which are right now you're in Blackwell. Next year you're in Rubin. It's a new, and then after the next year after that, it won't be Rubin anymore, and you won't even hear about fucking Blackwell. Blackwell will be what they're selling to China next year. And then in 2027, they'll be selling Rubins to China. Unless this trade deal changes and this chip ban changes, China's going to be getting chips well behind it. What are they going to do? Well, they're going to develop their own technology. They're not going to put up with NVIDIA for very much longer if NVIDIA puts up with the U.S. and doesn't just give them the chips that they want. It's kind of crazy in a free market if it's not free at all. It's totally manipulated and controlled. Otherwise, they'd just be sold out of chips and everybody would be competing at the highest levels. You've got China being artificially held back right now by the U.S. government. This tariff trade situation is getting bad. It's going to cost a lot of people a lot of jobs. Already has. It's going to cost them even more. Canada's getting screwed. Steel tariffs went up and everything like that. So one thing I noted, mentioning tariffs, mentioning steel, is they reported a filing. I subscribe to the filings. You guys should go to NVTS, go to the company website, go to the SEC's, like the corporate investors section, and just sign up for notifications for the filings. That's where we got all the fucking Form 4 filings of the executives and everybody taking a big payday. But that's also where I got this filing on the weekend that they did like a deep analysis of all of the companies that are going to be required for them, because people had accused them of only being able to source their product from one supplier. And that was a big investor concern. It's not a concern now. They've showed that there's like 140 sources that they can, like they included like the Royal Canadian Mint. Like they had all the sources for all of the GAN and SIC that they're going to require. GAN and SIC, guys, that's just the periodic table, the periodic elements of their product. It's not like a catchphrase or anything. It's literally, they just went with, hey, what elements are required to make this? And that's where they got GAN and SIC. Okay? So they sourced it, and that's out. There's a list out. They have like 140 sources for the various of what they're requiring. So that should put all the and I think that's why we pumped today. They put that out on the weekend, and I think it just got absorbed yesterday, and they accumulated, and it fucking popped today. It was up. We were up almost 20%. We might even be up higher than that right now. I don't know. I'm not able to check while I'm in the car doing a video. I could be showing you charts and this and that. When someone is sitting here like this with you face to face, discussing it off the dome, that's telling you that's a person that's done some due diligence on the stock. I'm not, someone who's required to be posting things for you all the time. They may not necessarily have done the DD enough, other than bullet points or whatever, to actually just have a educated discussion with you about the company or the product. So that's kind of why I opt for this format. I've been kind of asked, like, do this or that, or why don't you do it this way or whatever in the past. Not recently, I'm going to get back to my walk and talks where I'm walking and talking, but that you should look for that in people that are talking about stocks you like. The TikTokers that can only put out 30 to 60 seconds on a stock, they're all fucking pump or goofs, guys. I wouldn't put any I wouldn't put any of my money on anything they say. You're going to go down a deep hole of financial unburdening if you follow these people, because you're going to be separated from your cash quite quick. I'm giving you plus side, I'm giving you downside. You do your own DD at that point and or make your own decisions. But again, I think this is a 2026 play. It's going to see high volatility through the end of this year. Even in my Discord, I said, you know what, guys, a low risk option here, it would be to sell puts for December, right? So that way, because when you sell, it's income. Whenever you sell something, it's income. So you're going to be getting paid. So you would like that to fall in this tax year, not next tax year, because the chain goes all the way to January 2027. But the December 2025s, right? They're paying quite well. The 450s are paying, what were they paying? 75 or 80 cents a share. So $75 or $80 for one contract. It's 100 shares at $4.50. That means you're getting paid $80 for $450 risk. I think we're talking 20%. The fives were even better. If you're extremely bullish, the fives were paying you $1.05. So you're getting 20% there as well. Just over 20%. Okay. Obviously, that's a long hold, but that's 20% in 6 months. APY, annual percentage, is 40%. 6 months times 2 is 12 months. 12 months is an annual. An APY, a 6 month of 20% is an APY of 40%. So the stock would have to have a significant fall for that to not be worthwhile. I don't know many stocks that even come close to that. Dividend stocks don't even come close to that, guys. I opened a few puts for December myself at the 450 strike. I did the 5, but I closed the 5. I'm on the 450, and then I'll just play it by ear. And I left myself room, obviously, to wiggle all. I want to do some in June, some in July, some in August. And then I think I'm not going to do any of it, any more options on it, September, October, November, December. I'm just going to let those, I'm going to do it over the next 3 months, sort of averaging in maybe week by week. So 12 weeks of dollar cost averaging, whatever happens to the stock happens, goes up, goes down, whatever. I'm going to have a nice position around 450. If it starts falling, I'm going to go to 350, right? That way I'm getting guaranteed profit while completely minimizing risk. The stock could go under $2, guys. Let's be real here. It could. These low value companies, we don't know, right? If NVIDIA walks away for some reason, it could spell trouble for them. They do have a small shelf. It's 50 million. That is nothing, guys. That's not even 5% of their market cap. That is industry standard. It's the minimum you can even get, to my knowledge, is 5%. You can't get a shelf, which is an offering. You can't. They did that in March, by the way. That was in March, way before the announcement, and it's just open and active. Like GameStop has a shelf. MSTR has a 10 billion share shelf or something. Like, it's insane. This is a standard 5%. It's nothing to be concerned about in any way. It actually helped them out, in my opinion. They should utilize it now so that it's out of the way. He's obviously waiting for the stock to go up significantly before I think they should just use it now. Fucking get it out of the way so it's not a concern for investors. Get it out of the way. That would give them 12 to 14 quarters of cash. They wouldn't even have to make any money other than what they're making now for literally 5 years, 4 and 5 years, right? 12 quarters is 4 years. And then 4 to 5 years, I think you should just use it. Get it out of the way. Let the stock fall a little bit as soon as it closes, which at 100 million volume, 50 million divided by $5 is 10 million. It's going to close in half an hour, guys. In half an hour, they would have another 2 to 3 years of money in the bank, and we would all absorb it. We would just be buying the stock. It'd be irrelevant. They should use it. I got off topic. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I was talking about the options, and then that hit me, and I was just like, fuck yeah, like, they should just use that. Oh, God, sorry, this happens. I'm on literally no sleep, guys, because I have to stay up until 4 a.m. Eastern, which is 2 a.m. my time, and then be up by 5, because that's my pre-market, in case some shit's going down, which is exactly what happened the other day. It went from $5 to $7.85. So I'm getting like not even 3 hours of sleep right now. Last night I went to sleep at 3:30 my time, and I was up at 5. So I got an hour and a half. My fucking brain is scrambled at this point. God, yeah, I don't even remember what the hell I was talking about. Yeah, I'm trying to cover like the negatives, but also the positives. So in my mind, that shelf, that's like, it's a negative and a positive, but it was before. So in my mind, that's priced into the current price. Let me put it that way. It's priced in. Okay, so then it's getting hot in here. Then what else? So we've covered the CEO selling, so we don't even have to worry about that anymore. Guy doesn't have any shares, just indirect. That the other director guy has like 25 million shares in his like fund, which is like a power company or something. NVIDIA saying they need this technology for Rubin, covered that. Patents. That's what my brain was getting towards. Okay, well, if NVIDIA doesn't cooperate, keeps cooperating with the U.S. government, China's going to be forced to do something. Well, they have the patents on this thing. And they're, I don't... China often doesn't care about patents. They just steal technology and stuff, but that might set them back, right? Who knows? Hopefully it does, right? Because we don't want any competition here. We want to be the only game in town, which currently NAVITAS is the only game in town for this technology. Everybody is going to be using that shitty old Blackwell, which is already dated. CoreWeave is stocked to the tits with Blackwell 1s, and the Blackwell 3s are already on the way. And when the Rubins hit in 6 months, look out. Anybody stuck on Blackwells, you are like a dinosaur. Okay? For AI compute, for tokens and all. They're just throwing out all these buzzwords and shit now. No one can make heads or tails of it. Google's talking about tokens and shit. It's all fucking tokens now. I don't know. I don't care. All I know is AI is straight up legit. And if you've used Gemini or Grok, I kind of like ignored Grok for a long time. It's insane. Use it to help you do market research on your stocks. It's incredible. It's incredible. I don't know why it's free, other than Elon and Tesla realize how much data they're making and how valuable the data is, that we're the product. The AI, Grok, is not the product. Us, humans, we're the product. Because it's that good. And Gemini is also pretty insane. The image generation is nuts, and you can make video if you pay for premium. AI videos that I've seen them, it's like real people. It's 2026 through 2030, guys, is going to be nuts, and you want to be in plays like NAVITAS. They're at the core of the power constraints. Elon has said we're going to be constrained on power. All last month, you had blackouts all over Europe. Not enough power. New York, blackouts all the time. California, power issues. Water supply issues. Guess what you need for these data centers? Cooling. Guess what a lot of cooling is used? Water. Talking about AI is not just NVIDIA and is not just computer products. It's all sorts of products and services on a global scale, guys, including the minerals. Invest in mining companies. Invest in companies that are getting mining contracts, expanding their operations, that have low, what do you call it? Like injuries and things like that at work. Like, these are the things you should be looking at when you're investing, not just like, oh, stock go up. You really, if you're an investor, you have to do some research on your companies. It's basically that, plain and simple. My NAVITAS, I would love to give you a weekly target, guys. I'm going to wrap this up. I got to go in and do some shit. I'd love to give you a weekly price target, but it's impossible at this point. The stock is swinging $2. It's definitely in price discovery right now, which again could go all the way to 3. Put your 200 EMA, your 48 EMA, and your 13 EMA up, and watch the hourly, the 5-minute, the 15-minute, the hourly, and the daily. That's the best advice you will ever get from anybody. Have 4 charts for any stock you're trading: 5-minute, 15-minute, 1 hour, and daily. Have RSI, have MACD, have volume. Have 13 EMA, 48 EMA, and 200 EMA. The computers follow it to a T, guys. To a T. The reason I got in at 592, because the EMA was 590. And often you'll get a wick. So the body of the candle, and then those little thin wicks. You may not fill on a wick. I wanted to fill. So I bought thousands of shares at that 592, and then I sold half, or 1/3 of it. I sold 1/3 of it at like 609. I don't care. I'm not doing this hold for 8 and shit anymore. You guys, the people out there in NAVITAS, you ruined it for people like me who were ready to load the boat and hold this thing to 20. You ruined our confidence when you were constantly selling at 7. 5 times it hit 7, guys, constantly selling. Now you gotta just treat it as any other stock. You buy on the dips, on the moving averages. It's okay to buy on the way up, but you only enter on those averages, and you sell above that at a comfortable level of profit. If it's still going up and you're rebuying in higher, that's fine. You're protecting yourself from a collapse, and that's all I'm doing from now on, and that's what you should be doing going forward as well. Protect yourself from the collapse. Don't expect to just sit on this and hold indefinitely. If we get weekly options, my thought process is going to change significantly on this. I want the weekly options. Weekly options will entice me to sell covered calls. Covered calls gives me the power to sit on the stock more comfortably. Gives everybody the power to do that, because we can get immediate share price reduction while setting a cap. And that's going to tell all the shorts out there, when they look at the chain and they look at the open interest, it's going to say, hey, you're screwed if it goes above here, but you're kind of okay if it goes to this point, right? And it'll give us a nice slow burn. Maybe eventually we bust through it. Who knows? But it's going to be a lot better than not even having that option right now and just being stuck holding shares. I mentioned about 10 minutes ago you could sell puts and stuff for December. That's like, real long game. I want to be able to flip weekly covered calls on this every week for the next year and a half. I would love to do that. This is going to be on my watch list I'm going to be looking at this price every day going forward. I'm not going to say that about CoreWeave. CoreWeave's a pump and dumps, fucking heavily indebted trash co at this point to me. They just added $7 billion debt to their $25 billion yesterday with this APLD deal. Over 15 years, sure, but they don't have money. They don't make money. And those shares are coming unlocked in September. July, August. They got 2 months. That thing could GameStop to $450. It could go to $1,000. It really could. Will I buy a single share of it? No. I didn't want it at 33. I kind of wanted it at 70. I wanted to short it at 105, 110, and 120. And now I just don't want anything to do with it, right? So I already have NVIDIA permanent watch, Tesla permanent watch, SPY QQQ permanent watch. Flip between the other Mag 7 on one chart, flip between the watchers on 4 charts, and then my active trader chart. And this is going to be one of those that I just am always watching. I watch about 250 stocks all the time, and I kind of, it's because that's all I'm allowed to watch on Questrade. You got to get your shit together. A 250 stock watch list, like, just give us, if I want to watch a fucking 1,000 stocks, let me watch 1,000 stocks. It shouldn't be up to you to decide what I'm watching. I have different, like, I have like transport and defense and tech, but they only give you 5 and each one only holds 50. It's very frustrating because some of those, like tech, you're going to have more than 50. SPY, 50 is fine. You get your top 25, your top 50 stocks. I'm watching those top 50 SPY stocks all the time. But you got to readjust too, right? So take a look at what you're watching, guys. Shave shit that's just a waste of time. If it's under $1 billion, it's virtually a waste of time. Don't even watch. If it's a pump and dump, what do you call it? Pharma stock, just get it out of your watch list. It's pointless. They're going to go up. Some of them are going to go up 500%, and the same token, they will go down 70% in a day. Boom, just like that. It literally happens every day. They're the worst stocks in the whole world. I wouldn't fucking touch them. But look at even Moderna, the stock that was going to change everything. It went from 25 to 500 to 25 in 5 years. But I thought you were going to change everything. And you can go from 25 to 500 to 400. If you're changing everything, why are you even... How are you back to 25? And I think it's like 35 now. Who cares? The point is, it's all garbage. All of it. From the bottom to the top. It's all trash. Avoid that shit. Oil and gas companies that, like Indo. I remember Indonesian oil. When I did my DD on them, they had 27 employees. And it was just like some derelict ships in like the Baltic Sea or some sea. Like it was like, and I remember watching that thing just like have like a massive pump of like, from like $2 to 30. Like fuck guys, you really gotta do. So that's where Grok comes in. If you don't know how to do DD for whatever reason, for one, you can get in my Discord. I have a free stock bot. It's free to use. In the Discord, you can go down there and I give instructions when you sign up how to use the stock bot. I tell you, they're basic instructions because the stock bot is extremely complicated in terms of like what it offers. But I tell you how to use it on a basic level. You can learn beyond that, but it'll tell you everything like what are the moving averages, what is the 52-week low, 52-week, like it'll give you a nice summary of any stock. It gives you all sorts of things to use there, okay? But secondly, you can use Grok and ask him, Grok, is there any recent SEC filings I need to be worried about? Is there a shelf on this company? Is there impending dilution on this company? Are there any warrants active on this company or outstanding? Active or outstanding warrants. Warrants are dilutative like hardcore. What else? What are the CEOs doing? Grok will just like, you don't even really have to even be that, detailed with it. And it will do a deep dive for you and summarize it. You'll get 2 pages, maybe 3 pages. It's amazing. Start using Grok. It's free. You're using your money to invest, to buy, sell, and trade. You should be using your time just like your money. It's a resource. You have to donate some of your resource, which is time, to understanding what you're getting into. I think that's all I think I can help you do. So again, my previous videos on NAVITAS haven't really changed much, other than managing risk has changed, because we've seen the volatility was too extreme for me personally. I did not like to see it break all the way down to 460. That's dangerous. I didn't want to see it break below 5. So now that we've already broke one time under 460, that for me, that I'm not ruling out a break all the way down to 3. And I know bulls are going to be like, man, this guy's FUD. Based on that, I'm not. I am what you would call legitimate. I am giving you honest opinions and answers. I'm investing in it. I posted screenshots of it. Everything I talk about is all like backed up in the Discord. I have receipts. I literally let everyone know what I'm doing, and I don't expect people to do what I'm doing. Do what you're going to do. Do whatever the hell you want to do. It's not like I'm always right about everything. Far from it. Far from it. Right? No one is. Like, the best traders that are working at, like, Schwab and Morgan Stanley and all these places, the best ones are, like, 57% right. 57. It's, like, barely half. Okay? So, these are just my opinions on this stock, and these are the videos I'm going to put out. I removed all the old videos from before 2024 because out of nowhere I start talking about this stock, which is fastly becoming a squeeze play, and I'm getting all these strikes from like 3-year-old videos on YouTube and shit. So I just got rid of them. So all you're going to see is stuff from 2024. It's only 2 pages of videos. I had like 15 pages of videos. I had 800 videos. It's maybe like 50 now. Like it's maybe 100. I don't know. But going forward, I'm talking about everything in Discord, and you're getting a very narrow window of what is on my mind on this YouTube. But if this is what you want to hear and see, then that's what I'll provide for you. And I mean, they're very long videos. I'm sorry they're not a 30-second TikTok or a 5-minute video or a 10-minute video. I always urge you guys to watch it at 1.5 speed. You get used to it. I can't even watch YouTube at normal speed anymore from anybody. I can't do it. 1.25 is my absolute lowest, and 1.5 is usually the best. And if they're a fast talker like me, 1.5. If they're a slow talker, or the video's slow, or the video's like scenic and shit, 2. It's just 2.0. It's unbearable to watch videos at 1.0 speed. So I don't, even if you watch this video at 1.5, you go from 40 minutes to 20 minutes. Okay? So if I do a 20-minute video, it's a 10-minute video. That's what I would recommend you do. Okay? All the best to you guys on this play. I hope you make money. I know that, like I said, everybody that was involved, perhaps, with my influence in some way, I know in my Discord, they've all made money. We are all green. Nobody's lost money on the stock now. With the exception, perhaps, of people who have bought options. Many were up significantly that first week. They were up like 400 or 500%. Some of them that held, you might have been down. Today, they kind of equaled out. So if you averaged down, you were good. If you didn't average down, you weren't good. This is not one I want to just be buying options on. It's too volatile, and the options are a joke. Like I told you, like they're paying 20%. That's for sellers. Sellers are going to make the most money on options here, not buyers. Okay? Sellers. So if you're thinking about options here and thinking you're going to get rich quick, the only really way I see this possible is if you're buying, deep out of the money, and we go parabolic and go way up and over that, right? Because they're not really profitable until you're in the money. That's what I got for you guys. Enjoy your Tuesday.